I have a story about chickens. I've told this a lot of times, but I'm telling it to you for the first time. Once upon a time, I lived, and when I was younger, I lived in a place where there was a lot of acreage, and I could have some agricultural things. I could have a horse or a cow or whatever, but I didn't want a horse or a cow. But I did want some chickens. So I found a place an egg farm or whatever you call it. And I bought a dozen chickens, hens that were past their prime. 12 chickens, $12. Best deal I ever did. Didn't have to buy eggs for years. I brought them back. Now these chickens had been in little cages, like this. They couldn't even stand up. They were all they did is lay eggs. And so they were in these little prisons. So I felt really excited about rescuing them from their prison. So I brought them home, and they were in cardboard boxes. And I was so excited to see them get up and be, chickens and have a good life. It really made me feel good. So I got back, and I took their cardboard, the boxes they were in. I mean, they were maybe like 3 to a box. And I took them out in the backyard, and I turned them over, and the chickens were now on the grass. But you know what they did? I bet you can guess. I'll tell you. They didn't move. They just squatted there. They just sat on the grass. I mean, I bet they looked around, but they didn't move. They didn't move for an hour. And I realized before long that the reason they didn't move is that they didn't know that they could move, because they'd spent their whole life just squatting. Oh, finally, maybe an hour later, they moved, and they got up, and they looked around, and I mean, I bet they didn't stand up very long. I don't remember, because their legs must have been awful weak. But anyway, they got up and they walked around, and before long, they were just happy chickens, laying eggs. It was like an Easter egg hunt every morning, going out and see where the eggs were. But anyway, that's the story of those chickens, and it's kind of made me think that, all of us are in some kind of a little cage. We all live in a certain kind of life. We go to work, we do the same things over and over. And I think sometimes we forget that we're able to do other things, get out of our little cages and do other things that we've never really thought about before, like those chickens. Now, I don't know if that sounds stupid or not, but I sometimes think, we ought to just look at our lives if we're unhappy and just say like, okay, I'm in this cage, and I can't do anything, I'm trapped, whatever, but there's nothing that says I can't get out of this cage and do something great, do something I've always wanted to do, whatever. And anyway, that's my story about my chickens.